My hair looks so good today. So recently I've been reading this book called Who Says You Can, You Do by Daniel Chitiak, and it has a chapter called Neuroplasticity. In this chapter, it says more about our human brain and how our human brain acts. It made me relate human brains to the process of salvation. So in this chapter, it says that human brains consist of these small nerve cells called neurons, which consist of branches that connect to other nerve cells and they together form a neural net. So basically, the formation of this neural net is associated with a thought or a memory. For example, if a person is in a relationship and that relationship is pretty toxic and he always associates love with rejection and frustration and a traumatic experience. So next time he is in a relationship, he always associates that love with the past he had, like with the past traumatic experience that he had. The person is entirely different from that toxic person. Even if that relationship is not toxic at all, he tends to think that he is going to get rejected, or he tends to think that it's also going to end up traumatically because the neural net that had acted before is the same neural net he's carrying right now. So, what he has to do, or what that person has to do, is to break the neural net to form another neural net that actually associates love with love. So, how can this person actually break the neural net? So, if we want any change in our life, it is our responsibility to put an effort to change. If he can approach that situation in a very different way, like, okay, we are fighting, but still we can make it through and talk and heal from this. So even in his past relationship, fights have happened, and that time he usually used to associate with a rejection, but now he's thinking it in a very different way. He's thinking that we can sit together and, you know, talk and heal. So the brain again fires a lot of neurons to again form a neural net. The other neural net that had been there for years will break. Change is very difficult, and during the process of breaking of neural nets, it's usually said that people get very frustrated, very uncomfortable, because the brain is in shock. Brain is confused that this person has never done this optimistic activity before. Like, he has always thought it things in a pessimistic way because the neural net has already fed memories and thoughts in a very pessimistic way. So now, as he is thinking optimistic way, the neural nets have to break. So this breaking is also kind of a feeling of grief. So this is exactly what is called renewal of mind in a biological or psychological way. So when we go through the process of encountering Jesus and the process of salvation, we literally repent and come out of the life that we had lived before, and we accept a life with Jesus. Usually during this process, the brain builds a new neural net that is very different from the old one, where everything is very different from before. Things are new. This is exactly what Jesus says. Renew your minds, and this is how it is done psychologically.